Hello and welcome to the new episode of Making Presents. In this video I want to show you how I make vegan healthy chocolate without any sugar and only with natural ingredients. The first thing that I do is to measure my cocoa butter and cocoa paste. In this recipe I make 3 chocolate bars and a set of pralines. I use 100 grams of cocoa butter and 200 grams of cocoa paste. When I measure my ingredients, I chop them into small pieces. This is my third batch of making this chocolate, and I had to do a lot of trial and error, so I'm gonna tell you all my tips and tricks and techniques so you can learn from my mistakes. What I can tell you already is that in this video I'm chopping the chocolate into 2 big chunks. It didn't melt all the way through, although it melted like most of it, but I still had to pull out some bigger chunks of chocolate from my melted chocolate. After I chopped all of the cocoa paste and cocoa butter, I placed them into a bowl. I also prepared the 100 grams of cocoa paste that's gonna be added into the process to cool my chocolate. It's called chocolate tempering and it makes the chocolate way nicer. Although with this type of chocolate and date syrup, you don't really get this very tempered chocolate. It's gonna be quite fudgy. But what I found out is that by using this tempering method, I could make pouring much smoother, also make it more shiny. In a smaller saucepan, I poured a little bit of water and placed it on a medium heat to make a double boiler. I'm gonna use it to melt my chocolate slowly. It's important that you use the thermometer and melt it slowly, not to a very high temperature. I did the mistakes before, so I'm just trying to tell you what not to do. For tempering dark chocolate as this one, you need to melt it first up to 45 to 50 Celsius degrees or 113 to 122 Fahrenheit. That's the first step. After I melted the chocolate to the 47 Celsius degrees, I had to take it out to cool it down. You pour the 100 grams of other chocolate to make the mixture cooler and also melt the other bits. But this part took such a long time. I don't know if it's because I used a metal bowl or it was just taking a long time to melt. The recent time I used a bowl with cold water and it cooled down much quickly. We need to cool it down to 26 to 27 degrees Celsius, which is around 80 to 82 Fahrenheit. After I got the temperature to around 26 degrees, I placed the pot back onto the warm pot. As you can see, I had some bigger chunks in it still. In this process of tempering, we heat the chocolate up to 32 degrees Celsius, which is 90 Fahrenheit. And from my experience, this cooks pretty quickly, so just keep an eye on the thermometer. When I took my chocolate back from the stove, I poured the room temperature date syrup. I poured a little bit too much, but it came out nice and sweet, so I'm gonna keep it at 145 grams. As you can see, when I'm stirring it, it kind of gets very thick in the middle, so I don't think it really dissolved that well. Here I have my 3 molds ready, and this chocolate came out very nice and runny with some chunks, so I poured it into the molds, and afterwards I had to take away the chunks. Now when the surface is smooth, I added a little bit of chocolate to fill up the gaps and started to decorate. First I put strawberries because I think they look so pretty. And they are freeze-dried strawberries, very tasty. And in the middle one, I place freeze-dried blueberries. As a decoration, I put the calendula petals. And because I felt like there is not enough decoration, I place also cornflowers and malva edible flowers on top of that. These batch I made without nuts, but I also made ones with pistachios and hazelnuts, so you can do it too. Here is the next day. My chocolates are fully ready to take them out from the molds. This is such a satisfying job. They look so beautiful and shiny, not like my first batches. I hope you like this video about homemade chocolate, healthy without sugar. Thank you for watching.